Hey y'all, my name is Bryant Young.
And Derek Chaney.
Here with the Decent Dads Podcast. Brand new episode this week.
Yeah, it is. It is. And one of our good friends is on this week, Kevin Rice.
Dr. Kev, our first eye doctor.
First eye doctor. He made us feel bad with, all the stuff that him and his doctor wife are teaching their child.
Yeah, they're way more regimented than we are, and now I feel like she's going to be, going to college soon, and Elsie's still figuring out how to speak full sentences. So.
Right. No, but yeah, he did a great job. Yeah, like we said, with what they're trying to teach her, how they're trying to implement that. What it's like to grow up in a family business, as you know.
Yeah, very
Bryant.
cool. And also, we got some little kid eye doctoring advice. So
we did.
Now you know when to take your kids to the eye doc.
That's right,
and we're both late. So without further ado, unless you have anything else to do, awesome.
Let's do it.
I think we jump right into this thing. Decent Dads Podcast. Here we go. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Decent Dads Podcast. We're here to tell dad jokes, drink coffee, and build a community of dads navigating fatherhood together. I'm Bryant Young, fearless leader, co-host, girl dad, and your friendly local insurance agent based out of Springfield, Missouri. And now, before we get started on today's episode, please help me welcome, he's a 6'3" senior shooting guard from small town Missouri. He wishes he was a first-team All-American, but instead, he's the coolest co-host with the most, a fantastic father of two, and the home loan expert. Folks, put your hands together and welcome the incomparable Mr. Derek Chaney. How are you, Derek?
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Hey, special guest here today, boys. I got to dial it up a little bit.
That's right. But yeah, you know what it is? It's a good day for a good day.
It's a good day.
Man, we had a rager of a birthday party yesterday, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was
My
fun.
backyard is still feeling the dried rice, and there's a matted spot from the bouncy house. It's a whole thing.
I was gonna say, how many birds did you kill with that dried
Dude,
rice?
I am terrified that I'm going to find a bunch
a
of
pile
birds
of-
with exploded stomachs in my backyard. I feel terrible about it. But we're going to talk about that later. So.
Okay, fair. Sorry, didn't know that. But yeah, no, outside of the birthday party, we got our hoppy coffee in hand.
Damn
got
right.
Another great guest with us today, good buddy of ours.
Mm-hmm.
We've known Kevin for quite a while and run in the same friend circle and have kids about the same age.
I've got a funny story about Kevin. The first time I met Kev, I took one look at him, having never met him before, and went, "You're Steve Rice's son, aren't you?" Well, it turns out his dad has been my optometrist since I was 5 years old. Set me up with my first set of glasses.
Okay.
And he and his dad favor each other, is the way I will put it. And that
Never heard that before.
Yeah, never at all, right?
Yeah.
And so the very
Not
first
once.
time I meet Kevin, I'm like, well, holy shit, that's got to be a Rice. So yeah,
That's funny.
I'm glad that, and now he's my optometrist, so it's perfect.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. The first time I met your dad, I didn't know he was your dad, but I was like,
But you knew it was his dad.
Yeah, it was at Architect Coffee, and I walked up to him too. I'm like, "Is Kevin your son?" He's like, "Yeah." So,
Yeah, it doesn't happen
We
at
get
all.
that a lot.
yeah. Oh, I bet. I bet. But anyways, yeah. Needless to say, we know Kev pretty well. Kevin, some people might not know you as well. So if you will, tell us, who you are, what you do. Give us your dad resume. Tell us how many kids you got, what are their ages, and which one's your favorite.
Doc is in the house.
So, Dr. Kevin Rice, just go by Kevin. I'm an optometrist here in town at the Vision Clinic. It is a family practice, and so love that opportunity to be back in Springfield. I got one daughter, Madison. She is almost 2. She'll be 2 in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Another birthday
and
party.
we'd be remiss
Birthday
if we
party
didn't
outside.
mention your spouse and partner in this whole thing,
Yep.
Dr. Sandy.
So, my wife is also an optometrist. Convinced her to move back to Springfield, and she's loving it. Just this morning, we were going to get coffee, and she was like, I really love Springfield.
Awesome.
Aw,
Great.
good.
Yeah.
Love to
Yeah.
hear that. We got to get her that Springfield flag tattoo one of these
There you
days. Get
go.
her really dialed in. Get her locked in.
Can't leave then.
So we talk about something every single week. We got to talk about tantrums. And I know that mine is a little. It's actually probably the funniest thing my daughter's ever said to me. So I think I'm probably just going to start. If
Yeah,
you
you
guys
go
don't
for
mind.
it, man. Yeah.
So else is to the point where we're communicating in relatively full sentences, but they're still kind of broken. You know what I mean? Like it's missing the or of, or it's missing some of those contractions or something that should be in the sentence. But she and I were fighting this morning. It's actually just over there behind the camera. There's a little fan that used to sit on my desk, and it was something that was just battery powered, and you could turn it on, and it was about this big around.
Right.
So it's only going to like put a little bit of air on your face. But I was trying to do some editing for the podcast, and so I was dinking around with that. And she's sitting in the floor playing with all the stuff that you guys can see in the floor, but you guys can't. It's everywhere in this room. But she starts getting upset with me because I can't. She's trying to turn the little fan on. I've handed it down to her knowing it doesn't work, so I don't mind. And she can't get it turned on, and she just starts screaming, yelling at me about it. And she starts going, "Turn Dad on! Turn Dad on! Turn Dad on! Turn Dad on! Turn Dad on!" And so I'm getting yelled at by my nearly 2-year-old. Turn Dad on! Turn Dad. Okay, let's not talk like this, kiddo. Let's not ever have this conversation again.
Gosh.
The weirdest
like
little kid Freudian slip I've ever heard. But so my daughter screamed about turning Dad on this afternoon.
Man.
I guess this morning, whatever time of day it was.
Poor kiddo.
What'd you deal with this week?
That's funny, man. Gosh.
Turn Dad on.
Nothing quite like that, anyways. But no, we did have we had soccer. Last week it was our last week of soccer.
Are you doing backflips?
Yeah.
It's kind of been his least favorite thing. Well, minus the boot. Yeah.
No. This doesn't involve Liam though.
Oh,
this is Brody.
even better.
So yeah, Liam, he's in the youngest group for soccer, and they don't play games. They just basically do drills and stuff and teaching them, what soccer's all about, right?
Sure.
But since it's this last week, they let them play with the older group, do drills with them, and then kind of play a little bit at the end, like a game, sort of. And so, but normally in the past, whenever Liam's team was doing all their drills and stuff, Brody would just run around on the field and play with the ball, because they only use like maybe a quarter of the field when they're doing this stuff. So he has plenty of room. Well, when you're playing with the older kids, they take up the whole field. And so Brody can't do this, right? And so he's trying to run out there and play with them, and we're like grabbing him, turning him around, and he's losing it, doing his grown man yell at us, letting us know that he's not happy. And so finally we get him turned around, pointed away from the field, and he just takes off. And we're like, okay, I mean, there's a big fence around the place, so it's like we know he can't go anywhere. But he goes towards where like all their equipment is, and there's hula hoops and cones and a big bag of balls, and we're like, oh, he'll be fine. And we look away for maybe like 5 seconds, it seemed like, and then he's over there, and you see a hula hoop flying, the cones are everywhere, and then he just happens to grab the bag of balls. Somehow he got them open, and he takes off with the bag of balls, and all the balls are just going out, flying out, and we're like, oh my gosh, that's our child. And so we go over there. Allie picks up Brody. I clean up the mess and bring him over there to where we are so we can watch Liam. And then they have like all these signs everywhere. They have this like little triangle sign on the ground, and Brody's like crawling through it, and he gets like stuck in it, and he's like trying to stand up in it. So you just see this triangle sign just like rattling over here. We're like, what is going on? This kid is on something. Like, what did we give him? And then there's another like big banner sign that like blows in the wind. So we're just yanking on it, pulling it up and down. And we're like, kid, gosh, we have that child that everybody's like, oh, that's a wild one right there.
We all do.
That's the 21st birthday party I want to be at.
Right?
Is that kids.
Every time we pick him up and try to move him or distract him, he's just yelling at us, letting us know, I am pissed off. But looking back, it was pretty funny. But
Bag of balls was my nickname in college. Kev, what do you got?
Well, we are potty training right now. This is like our second week of doing that.
Good for you.
Oh, Sandy did mention that yesterday.
There's some weird things that kind of come along with that.
Sure.
So she now has decided she's a big girl, so she doesn't need diapers. She always says, no diapers, no passy.
Okay.
I'm a big girl.
Nice.
So that's cool, except for one day I was watching her and put her down for a nap, and I hear all this noise on the monitor. I'm like, what is she doing in there? I look in and on the monitor, and she took off all of her clothes and her diaper and is standing there. And I was like, naked? Oh, yeah. I was like, that was fast. I was like 2 minutes in. It's like, how do you even do that? I've never seen you do any of that. Like, so I took the diaper off, threw the diaper out across the room. So I go in there, try to put the diaper back on, not having it.
I'm a big girl. I don't need that.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's a good problem to have, though. She's that ready to be done with it.
I guess. Yeah, we still have some accidents here and there. She got sick this past week, and that kind of slowed things down a bit. But, yeah, so we got her back in there, and, kind of got her real tired, passed out. Same thing. Like 10 minutes later, I look in the thing. She hadn't really made much noise, but I look in there again. She's staying in her bed naked, just standing right in the middle of the bed.
What in the world?
What the heck is this?
Yeah.
So all right, we're going back to the onesie fleece pajamas from the winter. You can't get out of these things. Like a straight jacket. So that's been the most entertaining one of the past week.
I have a couple. I think you guys have the same monitor system that we do where it's on your phone. And so I've screenshotted a couple of those, because I've caught Elsie standing there butt naked including the diaper, and I'm saving those for like her best man speech or her father speech just to bother her with, because little half naked baby or full naked baby standing in the crib is hilarious.
I got a dad hack for you guys. Just put them in a sleep sack and zip that puppy up, and they can't take it off.
I would have said that works, except that I put Elsie in a sleep sack every single night, and she figured out how to get it off.
Oh, really? Oh,
unsnap, unzip, and she got all the way out.
Oh, okay. Well, she's smarter than our boys then, because they.
I don't know if it's smarter or just more of a terrorizer.
I mean,
but
Liam doesn't wear one anymore, but Brody does, and it works for him. But that's actually not my dad hack.
Well, let's jump right into them dad hacks then.
Well, Kev, that's the other thing we ask everybody. What's a good dad hack?
Dad hack alert!
You have. And so won't make you go first.
Okay.
We'll make Bryant go first and see.
Nice.
See what dad hack you got for us.
Yeah. So we alluded to the birthday party this weekend,
which was epic.
It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. Elsie turns 2. Elsie and Madison are literally weeks apart in age. Elsie's birthday is this week, and she will also be turning 2. So it was a lot of fun. We spent a whole bunch of time getting the backyard set up, and come to find out, little kid bouncy houses are, $150 is still quite a bit of money, but for something that I can have and keep, we ended up buying a little small kid bouncy house for $150. And one of the best purchases I think I've ever made, because all of the kids were just going bonkers for it.
My kids loved it.
Had a blast.
Loved it.
So that's first half of it. Bouncy houses are not near as expensive as you think they are. I was expecting, Liv told me she bought a bounce house. And I was like, you did what?
Right.
That's going to be like $1,000 or something.
That's cheaper than renting one.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like, this is a different kind of deal. So I was very excited about that. But I think the biggest hit of the birthday party was something that Liv found online, and that I think everybody who's hosting a birthday party, particularly if it's going to be outdoors, should steal, is the dried rice box or table. Liv bought a giant bag of rice at Sam's, like a 10-pound bag of rice, and divided it into 5, like on my kitchen table the other day, and then dumped it all with a little bit of water and a bunch of food coloring, each 1/5 in our biggest bowls, and dyed the rice. And so there were little blue specks and little yellow specks, and then left some of it white and mixed it all up, and so it looked like confetti. But it was then dried, and she mixed it with some vinegar or something to help dye it, so it also tasted bad, so the kids didn't want to eat it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because Elsie put one big mouthful in there and just went blah, and just ran it all out. But kids were just going bananas for it, man. I had little beach tools, shovels and scoops and all that stuff, and cups, and at any point in time, there were 5 kids around. We were just rotating. We had probably 10 or 15 kids in the backyard yesterday. Yeah. And I'm telling you, the little dried rice table, or even if you just put it in a little clear bucket, just something for them to get their hands in and play around with. Awesome. So steal that, do it. I frankly, Liv did it, so I guess this is probably more of a mom hack than it is a dad hack.
I'll pass it along.
But frankly, I feel like leaning on my wife a lot of times anyway, because she's way smarter than I am. So Google it. The internet exists. It'll help.
I think that was the first thing Liam ran to when we got here, was that rice table. So.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And there were kids ranging in age from Brody, probably was one of the younger kids there.
Yeah.
All the way up to, there was like a 5, 6, 7-year-old there. And everybody, including the 7-year-old and all the way down to Brody, were in there at some point. So it was kind of fun.
I loved it. Nice.
Kids of all ages.
I was going to say, that's not where I thought you was going. I thought you was going to say the animal balloons. Because my kids love that too. But.
I'm going to attribute that to my wife as well. She went on Amazon and bought $1 animal balloons, dogs and dinosaurs and cats and giraffes and cardinals, and we bought a tank of helium and filled them all up and sent all of the kids home with blow-up balloons that were animal-shaped, and that was a hit, too, I think.
I think a couple of them ended up on top of your house, so I don't know if they came off. I saw that at one point, and I was like, uh-oh.
I did not notice that. I guess I need to go outside.
That was like right when we were singing Happy Birthday, too, when that all happened. So, yeah, you probably didn't see that. But, no, my dad hack, we've had a hard time finding babysitters for Brody, you know?
Sure.
And we've probably had 4 or 5, and it's just because they're all high school or college age, people, and they get their big girl jobs, and move
off they
on.
go.
And so it's you can't blame them. So when we finally find one, we're like, okay,
Please don't go anywhere.
Boys, you can't scare her off, okay? You gotta be on your best behavior. So we just found this new one, and a couple nights ago, me and Allie went on a date night so she could do a trial run with the boys, make sure, everybody got along and whatnot.
Nice.
And so, yeah, we straight up bribed the boys. We was like, boys, if you are good for the babysitter, we'll go get a donut after mom and dad get back, okay? But you have to be on your best behavior so she sticks around, right?
Was this a lunch date, or was this like the next morning that you were going to do it?
No, this was like I got home from work at 5, and the babysitter gets there, and Allie runs her through the routine, and then we leave and went and grabbed dinner, and it was like maybe like an hour-long date, hour and a half max.
Perfect.
Like max, if that. And so we tell the boys that, and Liam, he understands all this. And so she gets there, and everybody meets everybody, and we weren't 5 minutes in, and Liam just walks over to her and just gives her a big hug, and looks up at her, and goes, "You're my best friend." And I'm like, this is not you. Okay, this is not my child. Like, what is going on?
Does he want a job in the insurance business when he gets done? Because that boy can sell anything, it sounds like to me.
Right? With those big brown eyes and like sweet little voice right now. I'm like, dude, who are you? And then, Brody's just like smiling at her. Like, he can't really say much right now, but just smiling and flirting with her. And me and Hallie are like, what is going on here? And then we go on our date, come back, and she's like, dude, they were great. They just played and were so good. And we had to go get donuts.
Donuts!
But so bribe your children to be nice to the babysitter. So if she
kind of
sticks
don't
around.
hate that. Yeah, I kind of don't hate that. Do you have anything that you like?
Yeah. One thing, she's only 2, so it's not like there's a ton of hacks necessarily that aren't that functional, really. But one thing we found particularly effective lately is offering options instead of being like, you got to do this, you got to go do this. It's like, all right, you want to wear this or this, or you want to do this first or this first, or you want to watch this or this, and that seems to give her more of a sense of control. Yeah, and just makes her feel more like cause effect. If I choose this happens, and feel like she's got some skin in the game. Yeah. So we found that to be very helpful, especially if we're approaching tantrum level, if we're real tired, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
That's been very good.
We've implemented that as well too before, because you just take away the yes or no part of it. And it's like, is it this or that? Yeah. Right.
Every toddler's favorite word is no.
Right.
Right. Because they hear it plenty, I'm sure, as they're getting into stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And that's to like where we've got with Liam now as well, as like, hey, you can do this, but then if you do this, we can't do that. And so like you're talking about there, the whole consequences and whatnot, and it does, man. It seems to work so good now.
We heard that originally from one of the guys that was on the show, Terrence Arrington, and I would encourage everybody to go back and listen to Terrence's episode, because that was his thing. It's like, hey, you can eat the candy right now that I told you not to eat. You're welcome to it. Except that if you do that, and I've told you not to, then we can't do this other thing later. Right. We can't watch TV, or we're only going to read one book before we go to bed instead of your typical 5 or whatever it is. Like consequences.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep. Works good.
Nice. So I think that's all the dad hacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Kev, we've kind of talked. I know you. I've known you for almost a decade now at this point. You're a very intentional person, and you think things out pretty well. And so I'd be curious to know kind of your thoughts on starting to be a parent, whether that's like discussing goals or like early in parenthood. Like, tell me about some of your thoughts on that, because I know that you've probably had plenty of thoughts that are going to make me feel like an idiot.
I doubt it. But yeah, we do try to be intentional as far as discussion among ourselves, as far as, what are we focusing on? So we're not just at home and one of us is working on, shapes and one's working on whatever else. And so it's, what are our goals for this time period? We do kind of like it's not that structured, but like a theme for every, month or so. She's doing like a calendar thing upstairs where it's like, what's the weather outside? What day
I already feel dumb.
Kind of thing. So just that kind of stuff. And then we try to discuss
really
that.
Smart.
That's really, really good.
That's why they're both doctors.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're doctors. We're salespeople. I got it.
Yeah. This is the kid that stands naked in the bed. But yeah, no, we try to just kind of discuss it at least. A lot of it comes from Sandy more than me, for sure. But we also try to discuss it. We have a nanny that comes in like 3 days a week. And so we try to get it up to speed with her too. And then my mom watches her son and her too.
Cool.
So yeah, just kind of making sure everyone's on the same page and not go in different directions all the time.
So did you guys have like that conversation? Maybe it was before you guys got married, or maybe it was right after you guys got married and started having kids. Like, did you have any of those conversations about, do you want to have kids? How do you want to raise them? Did you guys have any of those kind of conversations ahead of time?
Yeah. Yes.
Kind of cue me into some of those, because that's, frankly, Liv and I, we talked about, like, do you want to have kids? Yes or no?
Right.
And how many do you want to have? I don't know. I think I might like one. I don't know. I think I might want 3. And that was kind of where it stopped.
Okay.
And so I kind of, frankly, regret not having had more conversation ahead of time, just because it would have been nice to know where everybody stands. And again, very happy with where we are now. But it's one of those deals where it's like, oh, planning might have been
talked
nice.
about this a
Did
little
you guys,
more.
Did you guys have any of those talks ahead of time?
Yeah, we had obviously the basic ones, like, yes, we both want to have kids. We both want 2, maybe 3, but probably just 2. Talked about, we want them to be raised Catholic. We want them to be probably through the Catholic school system, most likely. And then just, as far as what kind of, like, ultimate goals, we want them to be involved in sports. It must be something that we can be involved with, too, to kind of be around enough of it.
That's good forethought. Yeah, I like that a lot.
But I mean, outside of that, you just kind of got to see, that's a lot of kind of what's been exciting about this, is to see what she likes. It's not like we're like, you're going to be a professional golfer and you're going to be on the swim team, that kind of thing.
Please be a professional golfer.
Right,
Those scholarships are going to be balling.
Yeah. Well, that'd be awesome. That's kind of a back pocket goal.
I'm not telling her about that one because I don't want to put any undue pressure on her, but she's already got golf clubs.
Yeah. But we have those conversations and they continue, as she grows and we figure out what she likes and what drives her. That's kind of where we go with that.
Yeah. So as you guys continue to grow, you're talking about that. Do you now like set expectations with everybody around you?
Yes. And yeah, a little bit. I mean, not necessarily all the time. I mean, it's not that structured really,
Sure.
but I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like, like we were saying, just with kind of goal setting for like the week or the month, it's not like she has to be at a certain point. It's like at least everyone's on the same page with that kind of thing.
These are the things we're working on, whether or not we get to the end goal, but like this is what we're going to work on.
Yeah.
I like that.
I really
cool.
like
In the same
that too. Just because, I mean, shoot, when I'm watching the boys, I might be working on them with numbers, and Allie's working on them with letters or words or something, and it's like, I don't know, probably confusing in their little brains, but if everybody's teaching them the same thing, it's got to help. So
sure, because I mean, even at daycare, like the whole group is working on one thing together because they're all in the classroom together. And there are 2 teachers, but they're both working on the same thing. So when you get home and I'm trying to work on how to build Legos and she's trying to, like you said, work on the alphabet or something.
Yeah, and it's not like a sole focus all the time.
Of course. Yeah. But it's just like when you're working on stuff, you know what we're working on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Incorporate it and other things.
Nice.
Yep. Well, no, I mean, yeah, you was just talking about there, stuff you're trying to teach Madison or you and Sandy or the family, whatever it is. But then also too, I know, you mentioned, sometimes I do try to help her out with stuff, but then other times I try to teach her to teach herself how to fix the problems or do this or do that. So tell us a little bit more about how you guys are doing that.
I mean, even just simple stuff. If she's like trying to build a tower or something, it's like, you see her getting frustrated with one thing instead of being like, oh, this goes here. It's like trying to lay out the pieces in a way that's almost getting her there, but letting her kind of figure it out, taking some stuff out of the equation that's not, going to make things worse.
Right.
Sure.
But letting her still figure it out. She's also getting to that age where she's getting more kind of dangerous physically. And so she's getting to the point where she's going to start learning by hurting herself, probably.
Yes.
And so it's like, we can't be like, it's like you tell her 10 times, like, don't jump off that. You can't jump off that. And then, like, she's still looking at it.
All she hears is jump off that.
Yeah, she's like, as soon as you're not watching, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
And it's like, so yeah, it's kind of that. You can only do so much, and then you have to let them kind of learn on their own.
Sure.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's so much to be said for that. Teach a man to fish, feed him for or whatever it is. Give a man a fish, feed him for a day.
Right.
Teach a man to fish, feed him for his life.
Right. But man, like, and I'm sure you guys struggle with this too. It's like, it's so hard to do sometimes as a parent because it's like you want to provide for them and
just want to take care of you.
Take care of you, fix all your problems, whatever it is, or like you said, if they get hurt, like Liam, he's definitely in that stage right now. And it's like, you don't want them to get hurt, but it's like they have to learn somehow, right? Yeah. And so, I totally get that.
Is Madison a climber?
Yes. Now
Okay.
She is, yeah.
Okay. So that's Elsie hasn't gotten. She still can't get out of her crib, which I am so happy that she doesn't even try. She doesn't. That's like doesn't even register to her as a thing that she can do. So I'm very happy about that because she could definitely get out of it if she just thought like the tiniest bit. Like, okay, I prop my foot here and I grab this and I'm over. But she gets up into the Jeep. from the
nice.
floor. If I open the door
Yeah,
and I'm
crawls
like
up there.
cleaning the truck out or something, she'll crawl up and she's figured out how to get into the footwell and then into the seat. And then I look up and she's sitting on the center console. Oh
Wow.
shit. It's
Yeah.
like, please don't do that anywhere else, because at least when you fall in there's like some cushions to fall on. But
We're lucky that Liam's not a climber because he's so tall and has long
that
legs
dude could
and
dunk if he tried.
long arms and freaking spider monkey if he was a climber. But Brody is our climber, and he's up on countertops, up on our table, and I don't even know how he gets up there because he's so little. But,
Yeah, I totally get it.
What about Kevin? What about teaching Madison? How you act versus how she acts. How do you guys go about doing that? Do you set the example? Do you just be like, hey, don't do this, do that? How do you guys go about doing that?
We try. That's one of
Operative
the
word,
discussions
sure.
that we have is, we always got to not necessarily be on our best behavior, but at least be conscious of however you're acting, I feel like is how they're ultimately going to perceive that you should act.
Right.
And so keeping that in mind, top of mind frequently.
Sure.
And it's not all the time. I mean, like the other day we were golfing and, we're out there and she, I'm on the golf course. Sandy's got her in the cart. Sandy's getting her club out of her bag. I look over and Madison has Sandy's beer. And she's going her lips, and she doesn't get all the way there, but she's like, "Oh, that's good." Like, well, that was probably we're setting bad examples there,
Right.
We should probably cut that back.
Right.
Yeah,
I love alcohol.
Right. Yeah. That was somebody's
Throwback to a recent
like,
episode.
well, obviously she heard one of us say that before. But yeah, we try to keep that in mind.
That's great.
And especially talking to each other and making sure that we're not ever bickering too much in front of her or anything like that. Saying a lot of "I love you" and keeping things positive. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we've talked about a lot on
Yeah,
here.
I was getting ready to say, you should talk about it. If you don't, I will.
I feel like they pick up on way more of what you do versus what you say. Even like you're saying, like you don't even know they're watching, like the whole, that tastes good, right? Like you just,
They're little sponges, dude.
they are. And
Yeah.
even when you think they're not paying attention, they are. And it's scary. But
She cussed yet?
No.
Bragger.
She probably because she wasn't able to. I have done a couple things like, "Oh shit," and she's, "Oh shoot." And
Right.
she just
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's what I said.
That was
yeah.
it. That was absolutely my experience with Elsie. I got cut off.
Yeah.
And I yelled, "Oh shit!" And she said, "Nah, Smith."
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep, that was Smith.
that was dangerously
Yeah,
close.
I know what you meant. Yeah, right.
Ruh-roh.
Gosh. All right, Kev, we was talking about sports earlier. What's your
It's become a every episode
That's
thing. We
true.
gotta
I
talk
mean,
about
we're
sports.
dads, right? We
Dads.
love sports.
Yeah.
And we was talking about what you're teaching Madison, what you're wanting to introduce her to. So she's probably at an age where you're starting to introduce some sports to her a little bit. Being almost 2. I know that's how we were with Liam. So what are you trying to introduce her to, and how are you getting her to be interested in the stuff that you're introducing her to?
Yeah. So a couple ways. We've gone a couple of Springfield Cardinals games. She really
that's
does like
fun.
being out there.
I was gonna say, how's that went over?
Early
Baseball's
on,
a long game, right?
Earlier on, it was rough because she was a climber and is a climber, and so she was just climbing over everyone's seats. And
Sure.
so,
That makes
it's
sense.
not always totally sold out there, and so she was, just basically playing with the chairs
Yep.
over and over and over again.
Yep.
And that got a little dangerous with the concrete everywhere. But now
Good
she
point. True.
really does like to go. She loves being outside, so
Yeah.
that makes a lot of that easier. We do we're working on catching now, which is hilarious because it's just so bad.
It's just
How
basically
uncoordinated they
Yeah.
are.
hitting your kid in the
Yeah.
face with a ball
Oh,
over
yeah.
and over again.
Make sure the balls are soft when you
She
start.
can throw
those.
it great, but she cannot catch anything. But yeah,
Story
we're
of my
working on that. And then, I mean, we're both competitive people, Sandy and I, and so
Yeah.
we're just she sees us being that way all the time. And
Fun.
We do take her out golfing quite a bit. It's easy to do. She likes being outside, being in the cart. It's pretty fun. Being in the cart, though, has been an issue.
Oh, okay.
Before we were out driving down the hole one time, and she keeps throwing it in reverse as you're going, which thank God isn't like a vehicle where it
Right.
flips the thing over.
Yeah, it drops the transmission out of the vehicle
Yeah.
straight down.
It just stops it real fast. It's like, and slows down. It's like it throws a loud beep on, so she keeps doing it. And so finally I'm like, Madison, if you do this one more time, you're going to be in timeout. I'm serious. And she just looks at me and she just goes, "Oh, I'm serious." And it's like deep voice, just like mocking me right away. It's over and over again. "I'm serious. I'm
This is
serious."
child.
It's like, hey, what the heck? It's like I gotta get out of the car to like not laugh right in front of her.
Right.
It's like,
Listen here,
like,
motherfucker.
I am-
Right,
yeah. It's like I am in trouble here. This is not good.
Right. But for real, oh, that's the toughest part about being a parent is like some of the stuff they do is so funny and they shouldn't be doing it. And so it's like, do I laugh? And then do I just walk away? Allie, you got this.
Yeah, tag in. Liv and I do that all the time where we will look at each other over Elsie's head and both just go, because we're trying really hard not to laugh at the funny shit she just did, but also it's exactly what you're talking about, where it's like she's actively mocking me for trying to help, or like straight up, like I'm looking at her, don't do that, bloop, does it. Don't do that, bloop, does it again. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Yeah. Or we've used the pillows, like when we're in the living room and stuff, and they do that crap.
Yeah.
Me and Allie just put the pillows up, we'll laugh for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, serious face.
Woosah!
Here we go.
Of course, Sandy got a video of it, so we're doing it over and over and over again too. So
did she
that's
really?
out there. Yeah,
I'm gonna need to see that.
That's funny. She have you got any golf clubs for her yet?
just the little plastic ones, but she does love doing that upstairs. She loves sitting on the carpet upstairs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is she coordinated with that?
I mean, it's not like a good-looking golf swing.
course.
Right.
But yeah, she can hit the
makes
ball.
contact with the ball.
Yeah.
So tell me about golfing with her, because I want so bad to get Elsie into that, because it would then also afford me the opportunity to go play golf. Because at the end of the day, I feel guilty leaving Liv and Elsie at home to go play golf. But if I could find a way to incorporate Elsie into that, Liv doesn't care, and Liv probably won't want to go. But how do you guys do that? Have you gone by yourself yet, or is it all three of you?
Just me and Madison.
Yeah.
We did when she was like in the car seat.
Okay.
I could just put her there. It was great because it's warm outside. And driving around, she'd pass out the whole time. It was great.
And she can't go anywhere.
Yeah. But now she's in and out of the car. Wants to try to put it in reverse. Wants to try to drive the car. Wants to jump out, take her shoes off, run around everywhere, which is fun. But you need to have Sandy there with you, or else you'd just be literally chasing her around all day.
Right. Yeah.
So that's been fun. It's not like we're trying to get her to golf or anything, but it's more selfish at this point. That we just want to get out. But yeah, it's a good time.
I want to try it one time with just me and Els, but also understanding that every time I take my focus off of her and focus on the little white ball, the 15 seconds it takes for me to hit my stride, wiggle my wiggle, take the swing, I'm then going to immediately have to go, okay, where the hell did she go?
Where's she at? Where's she at?
Yeah,
right?
how far has she gotten in 15 seconds? Because, realistically, that could be like, at how quick she is, like a quarter mile.
Right.
So I might be running a long way to catch her. But
I would take Liam with me because he's he's very much our rule follower.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like if I tell him like, hey, you stand right here, and he'll be like, okay, I'll stand right here.
Oh, good.
Brody is the opposite of that. Like that dude, he'd try running away. I mean, we took him to the park today, and he was running the opposite direction we were. He was trying to run down into the water, so I'd be terrified to take him to the golf course because either he'd be running away or running at me while I'm swinging the golf club. And you're like,
that's the other thing I'm scared of.
Yeah, right. So
because, again, you take your focus off of the kid and onto that golf ball for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Tops.
That's enough, though.
But that's enough for
that's
her to get from
plenty of time.
30. And do you set her 30 feet away from you and then run to your golf ball real quick and then hit it so you don't hit her?
The fastest round of golf ever.
Taking her out of the cart entirely and just putting her in the grass. Like at least you're less dangerous out here than being in the cart.
As long as she can't reach the gas pedal and the steering wheel at the same time, we're good.
Do either one.
Bring
one time.
bring one of those baby fence things with you and just pop it up right there in the fairway. Throw them in there real quick.
Oh yeah.
Let me hit my golf ball. Okay, let's hop back in the cart. Boom.
Like one of those mobile dog fence things. It's just for like it's like 3 foot long pieces of fence that you can just throw out in a square. Quickly set them in there.
Yeah.
Take your swing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
God, that'd take forever.
They make ones for kids now that just like literally pop up, and they even have like a little roof thing on them that provides shade. That I think they're meant for the beach, not the golf course. But but yeah, you can put your kids in there. So there you go. I
kind of love that because I think Elsie and Madison are going to be competing for the same golf scholarships in the future. Because I really hope that Elsa actually gets into golf. I'm trying very hard though not to push it. I mean, obviously she's 2. We're way ahead of that, but. One of the things that drove me away from golf as a kid was that my dad wanted me to do it so bad. And he was like, put me in lessons, and I was in the competitive stuff. And at 5, 6 years old, I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I want to go play with my friends because it was such an individual sport.
Yeah, I've seen that in a lot of friends. I was never that skilled where it was an issue.
Yeah, me neither. To be clear.
But no, we're not really pushing her to do it. We love it, and so it'd be great if she did too. She does love to be outside around it. So.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, Sandy's gotten into golf recently too, right? So that's awesome.
Yeah.
If I finally could get that worked in with Liv, that would make my golf game the number of times I get to play a year, because so far we're nearly 6 months into the year and I've played twice.
Yeah. No, we just had the same conversation like a couple nights ago, because Liam's doing swim lessons right now. I think this is his third session. First 2 sessions, awesome. He loved it. It was really good. This session started, he was doing really good, but the last 2 lessons, he's just not really felt it, kind of throwing the tantrum, which has been right after soccer too, so we don't really know if it's because he's tired.
I wonder if it's that. Or
if it's just because he's like kind of over it. And so me and Allie's talking about that, and I was like, you know what, maybe we just take a session off and let him, do whatever. And not, I mean, he's 3 years old. Like, why are you pushing sports on him at 3 years old, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want him to hate it, and not want to do it at all. And that Allie's like, well, she's like, well, but then he won't be doing anything. And I'm like,
but that's okay. He's 3.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a middle schooler.
Right.
Or a high schooler.
Which is funny, because I always thought we would have the opposite views on that, where I would be like, oh, you got to be doing something. You got to play sports. And I'm like, you know what? Just let him chill for a couple months and not do anything.
I do see swimming as slightly different, though.
Yeah.
Because at least learning how to play golf is not a survival skill. You know what I mean? Whereas the swimming thing, I definitely want Elsie to be comfortable in a pool.
Right.
If not like proficient in like the ability to keep herself and her head above water. But at the end of the day,
well,
she's not doing it yet.
It's a little different for you when you have a pool in the backyard too.
Well, yeah, kind of. I don't
Me
have
and
a
Kevin
pool
don't
right
have to worry about that.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the pool is there's a leak in the pool, and so
I've heard.
we're gonna get to replace the liner. Yeehaw! I'm really excited. It's my favorite. It looks like shit. So what about? So sports, motivation, those kind of things. Have you figured out what motivates her yet, or like what drives her? Because we're starting to figure that out with Elsie, and it's something that we're trying to then lean into.
Food.
Of course, right? Isn't it just like training a puppy,
dude?
I'm
telling you,
it's treats.
She's motivated highly by food. But we got to be careful with that, because, I mean, she would do literally almost anything for food at this point.
And then it becomes,
What's her go-to food?
Oh, man. I mean, she loves all fruit.
That's
right
good.
Now, blueberries and
That's
bananas.
Good.
Yeah.
She just is obsessed with blueberries. Unfortunately, they're like the highest price they've been in 35 years. But yeah, she's always has a meltdown about blueberries if there's not enough, or if we're not getting more to her fast enough. Also loves ketchup. Just big ketchup fan.
I understand.
Ketchup on
I'm a
everything.
big fan myself.
Yeah.
So is that like fingers full, or is that just anything that she can get?
She'll like, need ketchup, one ketchup, and so you put a little bit there, and then she'll just get a spoon, eat all the ketchup.
Oh, just straight ketchup.
No.
That's not what I meant. That's for your for your potato.
It's a condiment, not a food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Are your kids motivated by that kind of stuff?
Oh, well, just like earlier I said, we bribed them with donuts. Like, so,
that's true. Yeah,
so
you guys
we
do that.
we bribe them a little bit with either donuts or ice cream, but it's like we don't go to that every meal. It's like once every few days. But it was funny. You said blueberries and bananas, and it made me think. I was trying to get the boys to eat dinner last night, and they were eating good dinners, and so we had like eggs, strawberries, blackberries, cottage cheese, and they love cottage cheese. So I knew they would demolish that, right?
Wow. That's something we need to get Elsie into. I haven't thought about cottage cheese.
So Liam goes ham on the cottage cheese. That's all he eats. And cleans his plate, cleans that part of his plate. And he's like, I need more cottage cheese. Right? And I'm like, all right, well, you got to eat your strawberries and your blackberries to get more cottage cheese. Okay. And he just thinks about it. He's like, I want more cottage cheese. I'm like, okay, well, eat your strawberries and blackberries. And he tells me, he's like, well, I don't like blackberries on Wednesdays.
Wow.
I'm like, okay.
That's impressive.
Also, how do you know it's Wednesday? What the hell?
Well, and that's the funny thing. It's Saturday. This is yesterday. And I'm like, okay. I was like, well, but yeah. I was like,
Good thing it's Saturday.
I get that, bub. But it's Saturday, so that means you like blackberries today. And he's like, yeah, I do like blackberries today, but I don't like them on Wednesdays. And I'm like, well, why don't you like them on Wednesdays? Well, my mouth is too big. All right. So this is just the fun conversations you have with kids. I'm like, well, is your mouth too big or are the blackberries too small? And
like, whoa.
Put his brain in a twister, baby.
Dude, it did. And he's just like, he just froze like, I've never thought about that before.
Put his brain in the blender.
But needless to say, then he ate all his blackberries and he got more cottage cheese and he was happy.
Sure.
So yeah, food is definitely a motivator for
We're
kiddos.
the same way. I mean, I'm trying to get her, like, a lot of time it's fruit, But unfortunately, we introduced Elsie to veggie straws too early.
You're welcome for that birthday present.
Yeah, I swear to God, because everybody knows she's into veggie straws, we got 3 different things of veggie straws yesterday.
Yep.
And so I'm loaded up for months on end worth of freaking veggie straws. And Liv and we were talking about it the other day. She's like, well, it's healthy, they're veggies. And I was like, no.
They're chips.
No. Yeah. Those are potato chips shaped in a different way.
Right.
This is 2 very different things. And also, it's to the point now where she knows where the veggie straws are in our house, and she knows where they are in my parents' house.
Nice.
And my parents don't keep them at eye level. Liv insists on keeping all of Elsie's treats at Elsie's height.
Nope.
I hate that idea. I hate
mistake.
it, but Liv insists, and I'm gonna pick my battles on that one. I'm not arguing with her there. But my mom and dad keep them on the top, in the top set of cabinets, way up high. But Elsie has watched them 7 or 8 times that she's gotten veggie straws at their house, enough to where she'll go,
Yeah.
veggie straws, and then grab my dad by the shirt and just drag him over there and point. It's like, right here, go get them. Get me my veggie straws.
Oh, yeah.
Gross. Also, not good for you, but it's okay. Part of it.
No, we did that same thing early on. We had all the Liam's and Brody's snacks on that bottom level of the pantry. And after about 2 different times of the pantry just being covered with all their snacks all across the floor, we're like, yeah, we're doing something different. All right. All the vegetables are going down here on this bottom shelf, right? Your guys' snacks are going way up here.
We've got the little cups of like mandarin oranges
Yeah.
and peas and green beans and like all those. She also likes those though, because I think she just likes the idea that they come in like a her size cup. And so you just open them. With the green beans, we'll just shove them in the microwave for 30 seconds, drain them off, open it, drain them off, and then just hand her a little tiny bowl of green beans. She's just popping green beans. Yeah. So I guess we need to get the veggie straws out of our house completely to get rid of that. We talked about your dad a little bit earlier, and this is not something that we talked about ahead of time, but I was thinking about it. I'm in a multi-generational family business. So are you. How many different Rices work in your family business now?
4.
There's 4 total. Dad, you, your wife, and your sister, right? That's all 4? Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Not confusing at all.
Yeah, not at
I
all.
need to go see Dr.
The
Rice.
other ownership share is Dr. Herndon, who is my dad's partner, his daughter, and her husband.
Oh, I didn't realize that was the other part.
There's some other owners too, but there's basically 2 large family groups that have been in this practice.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hi, I'd like to see Dr. Rice. That's not enough information.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna need some more.
I see patients all the time. It's like, oh, I saw your dad for the first time 35 years ago, or something like that. It's like,
Whoa.
or I saw Dr. Herndon or Dr. Summers and White back when it was in a house on Glenstone. It's like, yeah.
I remember that building.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Because weren't they in the Plaza Towers at one point as well?
They were in the Red Cross building on Glenstone. Before that, they were in an actual house. It was a house that they converted into an office. With
I remember
the
the Red Cross building for sure. So that's hilarious.
Yeah, I remember being there all the time as a kid, running around. Yeah.
So
nuts.
Tell me about, again, speaking about family, are there any specific lessons or anything that you took away from the way you were raised from your dad?
I mean, for sure. I feel like my time as a dad, the short, almost 2-year span, has been made 10 times easier by just kind of dad my guy was. I mean, he was awesome. And so I feel like that's all the time. It's just kind of innate almost in some of the things that are transferred over. I mean, as far as specific lessons, it's kind of hard to
No, that's
grasp
fine.
something.
I was just curious.
But yeah, I mean, a lot. I mean, it helps a lot. He's also her favorite person, Madison's favorite person. She's, Papa Toy is number 1, Dad is number 2. So I feel like there's something to be said there.
Yeah.
I'm sure looking the same helps her a lot too. But yeah, she and her have a very special bond. It's weird.
That's a lot of fun though. Yeah. That's awesome because that's kind of the way else is with my dad. Did you have anything? I don't think we've ever really talked about this specifically, have we?
Not really. Well, I mean, you're talking about multi-generational businesses, and it's funny. My whole family is a family of farmers.
Sure.
Until it got to me. And so, funny story about this. I haven't shared this on the podcast before. So, out of college, I was working at Northwestern. Worked there for 2 or 3 years. Hated it. So I was looking to get out, but I hadn't found somewhere else to go yet. Right. And so my dad, he has a large farm. And he was doing it all by himself, and so he needed help. And so I pitched the idea to my dad. I'm like, hey, how about I come work on the farm for you? I was like, you always get pissed off at your helpers for not knowing what to do. And I'm like, nobody's going to know better than me.
I grew up in this shit. I know how it works.
I know exactly how you want to do stuff, when you want to do it, all this. I know how everything works, where everything is, all that. And he straight up looks at me and he's like, no. He's like, you can work for me, part-time till you find something else to do, but I'm not going to hire you.
Interesting.
Right? And I'm like, damn, my own dad won't hire me. What is going on? But then he goes on to say, he's like, look, I know you don't love doing this. He's like, I know this isn't what you want to do long term.
That's good.
And he's like, you go find something that you love, that you want to be into, And I was like, dang. I was like, good for you. I mean, that was like a big moment, like in our relationship, when he told me that. And I joke about it all the time now. I'm like, yeah, my own dad wouldn't even hire me. That's how shitty of a person I was. But
that's always been a big fear of my dad's, is that it looks like he pushed us into this, and that's 100% not the case.
Right.
Nice. He always made sure, he's like, there's so many other things you could do. It's like, you're sure you want to do this, even like up to like the last minute.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to do this.
Cool.
Is there anything else? And I've always loved it, and so that's a big
that's
part
awesome.
as far as when we're talking about not pushing him into sports, that kind of thing.
Right.
I get a lot of that from that too. It's like, you don't want to have that appearance or that perception to your kid that you're making them do that kind of thing. So I certainly do not feel that way.
Yeah. Well, that was so. We have probably talked about this at a time. I don't know if I've told this on the show. I had the exact same experience with my parents.
Oh, yeah.
So
I remember you telling me about
when
this now.
I was in college, I took the LSAT. I got a score that I probably could have gotten into law school, but a family friend talked me out of it. And he's like, you don't want to do this. You're a mouthpiece. You want to go sell something. And so I then kind of shifted my gears and started working for a State Farm agent when I was in college. And as I was getting close to graduation, it was like the Christmas before graduation, I went to my parents. I was like, hey, I would really love a job. I would love to come back to Springfield. I'd love the opportunity to work in my family business. And my mom looked at me and told me no. She is technically a part owner or half owner, whatever, with my dad. Yeah. And so my mom was like, no, absolutely not. You will not. No, you're not working in this business.
Yeah.
And they explained it to me, but I was still seeing red when she told me no, and so it didn't really process for me. And took me a couple of years to figure it out. She wanted me to learn how to have a boss that wasn't my father.
Yep.
And so I learned. Now, I didn't learn the way my dad wanted me to learn, which meant by the time I came back to work for him, I then had to change my strategy. I had learned incorrectly in his eyes, and so I spent another year and a half after I went to work for him learning how to do it the way he wanted to do it. But yeah, that's very much a thing. That my mom was like, no, and it was my mom.
Right.
My loving mother said, no, you cannot have a job. Figure your own shit out.
But at the same time, I mean, good for them for having, the wherewithal to think of that, think of what's best for your kid.
Sure. And it was the best thing they did for me.
Oh, that's how
professionally.
I look back on that moment with me and my dad all the time. I'm like, man, I am so grateful that he said that to me, did that to me, whatever you want to call it. There.
Did that to me.
Basically fired me before I ever even got hired, But no, yeah. So I'm super appreciative of that. And real quick, I did want to ask you this, Kevin, because I am guilty of this, and I know we've talked about it before. When should you bring your kiddos to come see you? Because I know I've took advantage of having an eye doctor on speed dial, and I text you or Sandy whenever my boys have pink eye. I'm like, hey, is this pink eye? Do I need to get something? But I don't think we've brought them in yet to see you. So when should we bring our kids in to see you?
Yeah, we did this. We had a dentist on, and we did this with the dentist. So we got to do it with the eye doc.
And this is not a paid sponsorship. I didn't ask them to ask this question. So usually if you bring them in before they're 1 year old, you can do it for free. It's a program called Infancy. You don't have to really do much. You have to basically just sign up for it. But that's it. I mean, you can be anyone. You don't have to have any insurance or anything. It's just a free program.
Cool.
So for sure do that, because we catch stuff all the time as far as, they may end up having a really high prescription down the road, someone got to watch, or there's some, bigger issue, that kind of thing. Most of the time they're great, and we're going to watch them until they're between 3 to 5. After that first one's perfect, everything's great. I'd say before they start school is the next one.
Okay.
And then after that, probably one more time in that kindergarten years. And then after that, pretty much every year.
Once a year.
It's recommended because they grow so much during that time period that things can change in a hurry. So many things develop then that can be stopped if just by catching it and getting something in front of them, maybe it be glasses or vision therapy or whatever. So if you are on top of it, you can prevent a lot of stuff. And usually, if you can relay that to the parents in a way, it's like, I see you're both wearing thick glasses. We can probably stop that from happening here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's things we can do now to slow down, really high nearsightedness, that kind of thing. So it's, the more you're there, usually the better. Also
Interesting.
for me, but Yeah, but also, just the more you're there, the better. I'd say yearly from age 5 on.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense. Because speaking of changing, I mean, Dr. Steve put me in glasses when I was in like 5th grade, and and my eyes got worse every year until I hit probably my freshman, sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
And then they locked in and they haven't really changed
Yeah.
since
So
then.
this is a newer thing now. There's been a lot of research, especially out of Asian countries where they have so much of myopia and nearsightedness.
Okay.
That there's things we can do now. Say I catch a kid that's like basically 0 at like age 2. That means they're going to be really nearsighted down the road. We can basically stop that from happening, or very much slow it down, or keep them at the same prescription so they don't progress a lot.
Really?
Wow. Well, that's cool.
Man,
Yeah.
we missed out. It was a generation too early.
God, no kidding, because these glasses are for real.
Just not styling. They're for real.
Kev, do you have anything?
Yeah. One other
yeah.
thing that we always ask everybody is
Yes.
funny stories, and so but we tell them like, hey, don't tell us the whole story. Just give us like a little tidbit so that
Tee it up for us.
so we can tee it up for you. And so one of your funny stories, you already talked about one of them, I guess, with the stripping down during nap time.
Which is hilarious.
But the other one, all I got here to go off of is you put apple pee-pee.
Yes.
And so
Tell us about apple pee-pee.
Yeah, tell us the
It's
story.
kind of a weird, almost inside joke kind of thing, but for the first time she saw apple juice, she said, this is apple juice, and she just goes, apple pee-pee, and just starts dying laughing, so much so that she peed. And so she looks at that, and she goes, apple pee-pee, and then starts dying more for like half an hour. And so it's like, and now she just, every time you mention it, she's
tickled herself.
like, she just like can't stop laughing about it. It's
Really?
like she loves it. Yeah. And just, so now it's like, if you say
funny.
apple pee-pee or apple poo-poo, she thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, that's great.
And so she cracks herself up. She cracks us up.
Apple juice
with
does
it.
look like pee.
It does,
I mean,
I guess.
Isn't it funny how kids like that can make themselves laugh?
Yeah.
yes.
And most of the time it doesn't make any sense to us.
Oh, right.
Other than you just see that they're laughing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is what we're going to do now. And I'm going to lean into it as hard as I can because nothing makes me happier
yeah.
than my daughter
Yeah.
just laughing her
if you
brains
can
out.
get them giggling, get those belly giggles, that's the best. Just the other night, I guess this was last night, the boys were watching movies, and I went out of the room, came back in for a second, and Liam is just like rolling on the ground laughing. And I'm like, dude, what's so funny? And Brody, he's just learning words at this point. He can say mama, dada, this stuff. And he's like, Bobo called you mama. And he is just rolling on the floor. And I was like, that's silly, Bobo. And that made him even roll even more. And it's
Sure.
like, he doesn't know that Brody's wants mom. So he said mama. Not he called dad out, mama. And I'm just like, yeah, like the stuff that cracks him up is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, that's our game is we blame farts on each other.
oh, Allie and Liam do that.
Yeah.
It's so
Where
funny.
It's like dad will definitely have farted and Liv from the other room will go, Elsie tooted.
Yeah.
It's like, no. And Elsie will look at it kind of confused. Daddy tooted. And then start giggling. Daddy tooted. Not Elsie tooted. Daddy tooted. Daddy tooted.
Farts are never not funny.
Yeah.
Let's be
Why?
honest.
Yeah.
So good, though. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the episode, Derek. Why are you giggling already?
I don't know. What time could it be, Brian?
It's time for Dad Joke of the Week.
Yeah, it is.
So, can you tell we have fun here, folks? Kev,
Zero fun here.
I'm going to make you go first. What kind of dad joke do you have? Do you have one in your head?
I'll do a dad joke and then like a story joke.
Perfect. Okay.
2 jokes. I
So,
like it.
what do you call a man with a rubber toe?
Oh, no. I don't know. What do you call a man with a rubber toe?
Roberto.
What is that? What's the dad's name from Roboito? The Adam Sandler movie, the football movie.
Any given
Whatever.
or no.
Not any given Sunday. It's certainly not
Longest
that one.
yard.
What's the other one? The Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Oh.
That's Adam Sandler's
yeah,
dad's
yeah.
name. And sorry,
Oh.
off on a weird tangent. Roberto. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's your other one? Tell me your story joke.
Okay, so yesterday, right, Saturday, we're sitting there watching the PGA Championship.
Nice.
So I'm focused on that.
Go
I hear
Brooks.
Sandy saying something. She's like, Kevin, what the heck? Do you never listen to anything I say? Like, do you never listen to anything I say? I'm like, what a weird way to start a conversation. And then she said, you only hear what you want to hear. I said, what? Yeah, I'll take a beer, thanks.
Yeah, I bet you didn't catch like a swift slap to the back of the head or anything on that one, did
I was
you?
like, no, it's Sandy. You probably did. Just saying.
What about you,
She's a little
DC? What do you
spicy.
got this week?
Well, this one's for Kev. Kevin, what'd the left eye say to the right eye?
I'm surprised I have not heard this one. I don't know.
Really? Oh, good. I was hoping you didn't. So, what'd the left eye say to the right eye?
I don't know.
Something between us smells.
Oh,
Nice.
I have to use that one.
Yeah,
now.
that one needs to go into
Can
the
use that at
practice.
work. Yeah.
That's pretty good,
Yeah?
DC.
What about you? What do you got, Brian?
Well, speaking of doctors, again, I also brought a doctor joke this week. I actually was at the doctor last week. I've got bad eyes, but he also told me that I was going deaf. It was pretty difficult to hear.
Holy
That
magic.
was good. Oh, throw that one too. I got one more eye one.
Nice,
Oh,
bring it. Yeah,
yes.
bring it.
What part of your body dies last?
Dies last. No
I
idea.
got nothing.
Your pupils, because they dilate.
They died late.
That is very much an eye doctor joke. To the point where if you don't know what dilator is, like, I don't know what the hell that means.
I know. That's how I was like, I don't know.
That's why I like having friends that are doctors.
Well done, Doc.
I love it. Okay, well, Kev, thanks for being here, man. I hope
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
enjoyed your time. We love doing this, particularly when we we love to sit down with our friends, and it's fun to do that. We've had some different folks on before, but it's also kind of fun to just sit down with our buddies. So, DC, why don't you wrap it up for us?
Yeah. Please continue to like, subscribe, share, comment. We're getting a lot of good stuff, a lot of good comments still. So please, continue to do that on YouTube, Spotify, whatever social media platform it is that you use. Continue to do that. We've grown to a little over 1,400 subscribers so far
Which is
on
wild.
YouTube, which is far surpassed our goals at this point.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. We really appreciate everybody that's listening and liking, sharing, and
Perfect.
commenting. Yeah.
Thanks very much. Keep doing the sharing. You out there on the internet. Appreciate you.
right.
So, I guess all I have to say left is way to go, decent dad.
There we go.
What do you
Nice
say?
work. Way to
What
go,
up, buddy?
Bob. So, unless anybody else has anything else,
I got nothing.
all right.
Nope. Good.
We'll see you next time. Dad yolks then? Derek Chaney?
I think it's pronounced jokes.
Got it. Sorry.
Hard J.
RJ. It's not yogging, it's jogging.
Which she's just like a clumsy person and gets hurt and stuff and
Which you're also a little worried about with the boys. right?
100%.
You're pretty athletic and coordinated.
And
Maybe she's not.
She's definitely not, and I think Liam's taking after her on that. He just makes direct, like a dog, just makes direct eye contact with you. He's like,
Yeah, that's how Madison does it too. She's about to go and she just is eating or something, just locks eyes across the room.
It
It's like-
doesn't move.
It's like, hold it. We're going. I must have seen him that day because I saw him at Sam's Club. No, I saw him at Costco. I was with Costco with my mother-in-law, and he had a handle of Tito's and some golf balls. And I was
What are you going to do, Greg?
Yeah, I was like, it's 10 a.m., buddy. Where are you going?
Fucking partying.
Sure, I can't drink all day if you don't start early, okay?
That's going in the episode.